Hey beautiful people, David Essery here. The solstice is upon us, just a couple more days to go. I'm very pleased to be able to share an update with you today from the wonderful Melchizedek once again. This is what he had to say. Hallelujah, the time draws near. 1,000 blessings upon you, my beloved, as we celebrate this most joyous occasion. We are experiencing a shift of unprecedented regard. Do you feel it, my beloved? Look beyond the perceived chaos. Push the challenges of your current circumstances aside. Do you feel a lightness in the planet? All of the circumstances you see presented are simply the playing out of karmic patterns long forgotten. It does so without any influence on the transcendent trajectory of planet Earth and her inhabitants. I spoke before of her great ascension. This most ecstatic moment is all but done, ere be but for divine timing. Be prepared, my child, to take the great leap with her. Draw that metaphorical line in the sand and make a choice of what to leave behind. With this, more light can enter. The 6th degree of vibrancy awaits all those who have made way to store the required light level. For the beloved mother, as she sheds that skin of old, she will release into her atmosphere all that is not of the light. Great teams stand at the ready to assist in this regard, but all those who seek the higher calling shall be of great assistance. I ask of each of you at this time to maintain that elevated vision of the world which is to be. Do not allow those others to dissuade you from what is to be. All is possible, I say to you, all shall be. May the light of the great suns bless you as we move through this extraordinary alignment. Yours in divine reverence, Melchizedek. He's very excited, as always. This is going to be such a powerful event. Now, a lot of this he's kind of touched on before, but it's interesting to hear him breaking this down. You know, he's talking about this unprecedented shift that we're about to experience. This is, of course, the ascension of planet Earth. One of many ascensions she has been through, but the next one to move her into her next phase. He says, do you feel it, my beloved? Look beyond the perceived chaos. Push the challenges of your current circumstances aside. Do you feel a lightness in the planet? I have personally been feeling this. I've been thinking about it the last couple of weeks. As much as everything seems kind of overwhelming at the moment, energetic wise, with our own past, with everything happening in the world, there is a shift taking place that you can feel. The planet is ready for this, and it's going to be quite extraordinary. He says that all of the circumstances you see presented are simply the playing out of karmic patterns long forgotten. And this is part of the release, you know, as Mother Earth is releasing these energies, they're stored within the earth, and sometimes these need to be physically played out, and we're seeing this happening in the world around us. And it's easy to see this as, oh well, we're in chaos, there's all these wars and all of these awful things are happening. You know, how can we be ascending if all of this bad stuff is happening? But ironically, it's happening because we're ascending. It is just a way of working through these old patterns, much like with the weather, as horrendous as it's been in places. It's a way of clearing and releasing energy, and it's just a part of the process. And this is why, you know, the active work that we can do to help dissolve the density within the planet is so important, because if we can do this work ourselves, the planet doesn't have to do it in those more extreme ways. So, he says that, I spoke before of her great ascension, that the most ecstatic moment is all but done, ere be but for divine timing. If you joined me for my workshop last week, Return to Center, we did a bit of planetary work at the end, and we were taken up to see the planet in its kind of current energetic state. And it's really, really beautiful. We were shown it in this just gorgeous golden light, where it's just vibration is just raised and raised and raised, and there was just a few pockets of lower density left, and that's what the work we were doing there to help dissolve those lower frequencies. And we were working with the billions, and I mean that billions of souls who have joined this planet at this time: the angels, ascended masters, the dragons, the unicorns, benevolent extraterrestrials. Earth is a party right now. We can't see it around our planet, but so much is happening. Of course, he spoke about that in a moment. But before that, he said, "Be prepared, my child, to take the great leap along with her. Draw that metaphorical line of sand and make a choice of what to leave behind." You know, this is the biggest shift that we've ever experienced, but the last time we did have one of a similar level was when the ascension process started, and we jumped from the third dimension to the fourth overnight, and the access to the fifth dimension became available to us. And you know, back then we weren't, or at least I wasn't anyway, subconsciously working in this way, but there is a great opportunity to drop the density of old as we take this big shift. So he's calling us to actively choose what we wish to leave behind. He says, once with this, more light can enter. As we drop density, we create space within our energetic systems to be able to integrate more light. And he says the 6th degree of vibrancy awaits all those who have made way to store the required light level. Now, 6th degree of vibrancy, he's talking about the 6th dimension as we would know it. And this is the new energy that we're jumping into. This is the new frequency of Earth, and with it we will have the potential to be able to anchor that into our energetic systems. He says for all of those who have made way to store the required light level. So obviously we need to have dropped enough density, enough lower vibration, that we've drawn more light into us in order to be able to reach that process. And it was exactly the same with the shift before. You know, we jumped overnight to the 4th dimension and we could reach the 5th, but we needed to drop the density to allow us to reach that. And it, you know, for some of us, for most of us really, it's been a long process. I very much doubt anyone was ready to jump straight to the 5th in 2012. That's why we've been through this massive process to get us ready to a point that we could hold that 5th dimension permanently, and since then we've been clearing to prepare for the 6th. Now, of course, this was also what the Crystalline Light Body upgrades that I was talking about last month were about. And of course, I ran that workshop where we were able to anchor that crystalline light body into our systems. And Melchizedek described that at the time almost like like having kind of a second energetic battery store or something. It's a way that you can store a lot more light within the body. That was the purpose of the upgrade, and that was to assist us to hold that 6th dimensional frequency easier. So of course, if you did do that work, this is something you should be able to step straight into. If not, it might not be an overnight shift, but it is available to us over time as we build up, you know, as we drop that lower vibrations and allow more and more light in. Of course, I do actually have a recording of that workshop available for the Crystalline Light one, so if it is something you want to do, that is still an option. And actually, I was going to say at the end, but we've got a big sale running on the website at the moment, including all our workshop recordings, and that one actually will be on the sale. So if that's something you feel like checking out, now's a good time to do that. So yeah, I mean, that is a huge shift that we have available for us to be able to step into the 6th dimension. Is just absolutely incredible and not to be underestimated. He goes on to say, for the beloved mother, as she sheds that skin of old, she will release into her atmosphere all that is not of the light. So she's actually going to release a huge amount of density as this new light anchors into her as this part of the process. I mean, this is very similar to what happens to the human body when it achieves ascension. It basically dissolves the physical body and you become light. She's going to go through a similar process. She's going to drop a huge amount of that density within her to anchor in this more light. He says, great teams stand at the ready to assist in this regard. He's referring, of course, to those billions of souls that I mentioned earlier that are here to assist with this transition, and they are also here to celebrate this momentous occasion. He says, though, all those who seek the higher calling shall be of great assistance. So if you wish to be of service in this way, you can help to dissolve this density as it is released, just through your active intent. And this is something we are going to be assisting with as well as part of the Solstice workshop on the night. And then he asks at the end, he says, I ask of each of you at this time to maintain that elevated vision of the world which is to be. Do not allow those others to dissuade you from what is. All is possible, I say to you, all shall be. And he's just calling us to maintain that vision for this beautiful ascended planet, to not listen to the people that might be saying, oh, it's all gone to pot, we're at war, this is all terrible. Don't listen to that. You know what's happening, you know the truth, you feel it within your heart. Just hold that vision, and that will help to hold the planet in that same vision as well, and just add that positive light, love, energy to assist her with her transition as well, and to release with that massive release, that shedding of that old skin that he mentioned. He ends it, may the light of the great sun bless you as we move through this extraordinary alignment. Beautiful. Thank you, Melchizedek, for sharing your wisdom with us. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I am of course running a workshop for the solstice. The actual main alignment here in the UK, if I recall, is about 3 something in the morning on the 21st. I was to try and decide whether to go with the 20th or 21st, but I always prefer to do the work for these things, you know, under these circumstances a little bit before, so that we can be of assistance with the transition, so that we can do what we need to do for, you know, in preparation for that main alignment. But the reality is that, you know, the solstice kind of starts a couple of days before and a couple of days afterwards. It's a bit like when you know, if you look at a solar eclipse, for instance, you have, yes, that moment or totality, but the eclipse starts as soon as the moon starts to pass in front of the sun, or vice versa. So we are in that energy already. It's already here. It's already happening. So yeah, as I say, I'm running my workshop on the evening of the 20th, just before that main alignment. And yeah, we're going to be doing some work to clear and prepare our systems to anchor that 6th dimension. Whether you've done the Crystalline Light Body or not, we'll be able to do some work to assist with that. We are going to be assisting with this transition, however we can do, with the shedding of the old skin and the transmuting of that energy, because we don't want that lower dense energies hanging around the earth. That needs to be released. And, you know, Melchizedek actually said it in, sorry, no, it was Merlin, sorry, said it in my last workshop, you know, as amazing as it is, we've got all of these beings here to do it. As inhabitants of planet Earth and as God-free beings with free will, essentially, we have an unbelievable amount of power to affect change on this planet, more so in many ways than they do, because they're bound by certain laws and things like that. Whereas if we have an unbelievable amount of power at our disposal of what we can do here, so we can be of huge assistance in that regard. You know, and we can actually actively, consciously direct those teams for their assistance. We get the best of both worlds. So we're going to be doing a bit of that work and whatever else is required, really, to anchor this energy within us, and just to be able to celebrate, to be able to bathe in this incredible energy. I absolutely love the solstice. That and the Lion's Gate are my favourite times of the year. As intense as it is, I always look forward to the workshops, because it's just such a transcendent experience, for want of a better word. So yeah, if you feel like joining me for the workshop, I would absolutely love to share it with you. Melchizedek's going to be leading us through the whole experience, and it's just going to be absolutely beautiful. I'll pop the details for that in the description down below. I will pop the link for the Crystalline Body workshop down there as well. If you feel like checking that out, you absolutely can do, whether that's now or in the future. There's a recording of that which you can watch at any time. And as I say, we do have a massive 33% off sale on the website at the moment. So all of our past workshop recordings, including the series, the Soul Reclamation Pathway that I did with Tim Wilde, is in the sales. Massive reductions on that, 33% off. My 6-month path to freedom, which is all about clearing blocks that may be holding us back in our life. My 4-week energetic and karmic cleansing, plus all my other workshops, plus prints, bags, mugs, cushions, journals, all sorts on sale. So if you do feel like checking that out, the discounts are automatically calculated for you in your basket. You can just check out my website at david-essery.com. Again, I'll include the link down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. I share stuff like this and meditations all the time. I really love to have you as part of our community. Thank you so much for watching, and whether you're joining me or not, I wish you the most beautiful solstice. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you again soon. Sending you lots of love. Bye.